Sometimes you come across a problem that, despite how many times you try, you just can't get it right, or it just won't work for you, or whatever the reason is, it's just not right. And, you know, if you're the sort to give up, that's it, you give up. But I'm not the sort to give up. I'm going to keep on trying despite all the stress and headache involved. So in this video, we're going to be looking at MidnightBSD again to see if we can get it going. Right, we're on the MidnightBSD website, and you know, one thing I do like about it is to the point, and it's quick and it's simple, and you're not going to get lost in a maze of options. And what we need to do is download, so we're going to click on the release notes of the downloads before we download. Oh dear, there's no release notes. The only release notes was for the 3.2 release, and none for the 3.23 point release, so we don't know what's changed, and oh well, never mind. So we might as well get cracking on with downloading. And we're taken to the download page where you are given at least 4 mirrors and some links to some older releases, I think. 2 of the mirrors are very fast, and one is fast in Japan, and the other one I think is in Michigan, I think, or Minnesota, where it's not so quick. But what in this case, what I need to click on is the UK one, and specifically the ISO. Memstick if I was using a real machine, but seeing as I'm using VirtualBox, I'll need an ISO. And it's good that they offer 386 as well. Well, that's a good touch. But anyway, we just need this one, and there we go. And I'll give it its dues. It's really it's a fast download. My internet is not the fastest, but it's going at maximum speed of a 900 megabyte download, which is very impressive in this day and age. Right, so that's ready. And like I say, you know, I'm using VirtualBox. Obviously, you know, you go for the routines of burning it to a USB stick if you're using a real machine. But in this case, VirtualBox will do. So in this case, I've given it 16 gigabytes of RAM, 8 cores or 8 processors. The video memory we could bump up a little bit. It's going to bring it up to the maximum. Enable 3D acceleration, I think, and I've given it about 100 gigabytes of storage. Yeah. So I think, and it's pointing to the thing, so that's all right. So I think we're good to go. We'll power it on, and we'll see if we can get things going. And it's starting up. There we go. And the menu, it looks familiar if you're a FreeBSD or GhostBSD user. It's basically the same across the board. And if you want an explanation of what these options are, if you look at my step-by-step GhostBSD install, I'll break down what each one does and what they're for. But anyway, we'll carry on. There's no live CD or live desktop option as there is in GhostBSD, but this looks very familiar. It's a classic FreeBSD cursors install. So you've got install shell and live CD, but we just need the install option. And we get down where we can define the key maps. And again, if you've watched any of my guides on FreeBSD or GhostBSD, you'll get the gist of what this is. So I'm going to need United Kingdom. You obviously select the one you need. I don't need to test. Give this a name, which will be Classic Test. There you go. And check that. We've got live32 and imports. It's interesting that imports is the addition here that you don't find on other FreeBSD based ones, but there's no explanation of what it is. Okay. Auto UFS all the way down to Auto ZFS, which we need. Usually the way around on FreeBSD, but that's interesting. And the install, we've got one disk, so we'll choose Stripe. You can, of course, choose these other options if you've got more than one disk. I think mainly in the physical machine. We just choose that one. We've got one disk with highlighted ADA0. It's Stripe. And I think that looks alright. Don't need to change anything else. No, we can proceed and choose yes. And it should start to install. And we'll fast forward this bit. There we go. So now we're going to need to add a password for the system admin or root. You forget this, you're not going to better get elevator privileges later on, so you've got to remember this. You can either make this, if you're the only person on this system, you can either make it the same as your own password or do a separate one. It's advisable to do a separate one, but sometimes if you're bad at remembering them, rather than writing it down, just use one. If it's your only machine and you're the only person using it. So we're going to put the password back in. Note it doesn't tell you how many characters you type, so you have to make sure you put the right amount in, or you've indeed spelled it correctly. Choose a network interface. Would you like to configure IPv4? Yes. And DHCP? Yes. So good so far. IPv6? No. It's already filled in, so that's good. You can change these to whatever you want if you want to do it manually. And we're going to choose a time zone. So it's Europe. And country all the way down. United Kingdom. Yep, that will do. Don't need to set the date. The time is... we just set an hour forward, just put it back. And then we choose the services that you'd like to start on boot. Most of these I'll leave as on, except dump dev, which I don't need. And system security hardening options, we're going to select these few. I think just this one. Yeah, just leave that one there. Would you like to add users? Yes. And this is your normal user, so Christopher. And then full name, obviously put your full name if you wish. You don't have to, you can put any name you want. I'm just going to put Christopher with a capital C. And default for these, except for this one, which you need to add wheel, video, and operator. I don't know about video, but I usually put it. Default for these. And interestingly, it offers the default as MKSH, which is a MidnightBSD option. And default for these. And enter a password, because you don't want an empty password. And put it in again. There we go. Lock out the accounts, no, and we're happy with that. And we don't want to add someone else. You can do if you want, but you don't have to on this occasion. And then that's it. And we're just going to go into shell so we can shut down the virtual machine nice and gently, and then remove the ISO image at our leisure. So shut down -P now. And we shall see what awaits us on the other side. Okie dokie, we're back in VirtualBox control. I'm just going to remove the ISO image, because if we don't, it'll boot back up into what we've just been in. So we just remove that. Remove. There we go. Now we can start up and it will go into what we've installed. All very exciting, isn't it? I have a love-hate relationship with MidnightBSD. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It really does seem to be up and down. I want it to work. I appreciate all the hard work that the developer, or the head developer, puts into this. It's a labour of love for him, and I really don't want to downmark it, but at this stage of the game, at 3.23, you should have well, we'll see. We'll carry on. Right, here's the first bit of feature for MidnightBSD, which I think is brilliant. It's the MidnightBSD first boot configuration, and I love this. This is a nice little touch. And it's where you can select your package mirror right from the start. Do you want US, UK, or Japan? In this case, I'm going to put UK. Would you like to report your install via BSD stats? Not on this occasion, no. Would you like to install Raven ports, an alternative package manager? I've not really used Raven ports that much. Yes or no? I'm going to put yes. Don't know why you need two package manager, or actually suggest other than the one that comes with MidnightBSD, but we'll have a look. Do you wish to enable a graphic environment? Yes, I do. Very important. It's downloading that. Do you wish to install DRMK mod for AMD and Intel jacket? Oh, look at that. It's a segmentation fault. No, I don't need... No, I'm using VirtualBox, so I don't need to install AMD or Intel drivers. Do you wish to install NVIDIA GPU drivers? Not on this occasion, no. And that's it. It says, please restart to enable graphical login. Okay, we'll try. Right then, we're going to reboot into this new configured MidnightBSD and see if it logs us in and starts up a nice window manager. XFCE, I think it is. I'm not quite sure what the default one is. I know I've had problems with this in the past, and in the past this has worked, so, you know, who knows at this point. And we're going to wait for a bit. Is it going to do it? Oh, it's not doing it. Okay, we'll log in manually and do it the old-fashioned way. Start X. And start X not found. Oh my, he's done it. This is exactly the same problem I had last time I reviewed this. Okay, well let's go into root and then let's install a graphical environment. So let's have a look. So it's going to be import. If I can remember, install, and then xorg, I think. And that was quick. The whole process didn't take that long, actually. And that's one impressive thing about MidnightBSD, which I'm got to give it praise. So import, install XFCE. And I think, yep, we're done there. And what else is going to be important? Yeah, I'm going to need a browser, so I'll import Firefox. I can't remember what version are we on. Oh, I'll check later. So exit. And then we'll need to do xinit rc, no doubt. We'll have a look anyway. Oh, it's already filled in, so that's pretty good. And looking at that, it's XFCE's default anyway, so that's good then. Alright, okay. So I don't need to make any changes on this. So we should start X now. Is it going to do it? Yeah, there we go. Of course, I'll just zoom out and... Oh, plugin manager has died. Don't want to restart it. Okay. Power manager plugin. And whatever I do, it will not let me do it. So remove. Okay. Well, apart from that, we have a nice desktop. It's the vanilla, non-customized XFCE with all the usual things that you get in it. And we'll just check whether Firefox has. That's good. So I'll look at the version that we've been given. Usual things, and version 111.01. That's quite old. Yowza. Okay. I think we're about 1.13 odd now. I can't remember. Well, that's okay. Right then, so from what I heard about, and there's XFCE, I think, yep, 4.18. I think we're on 4.20 now. So again, this is, like Firefox, is a little bit behind. Okay. One thing I heard about Raven ports was that it allows you to get more up-to-date software, which is a bit odd that it's not up-to-date in the main repository, but okay. And right, okay. So I've just come out the window manager, install in the virtual machine, and we're just going to try and get Raven ports to install some stuff. Okay, so this is the syntax I have to use. I've not really used it before. I already don't like it. It seems clunky. Okay, but we're installing Raven ports, which I think we already did when we installed, but I'm not sure anymore. So it's installing Raven's ports now. I do not like the way it looks. That's yeah, I don't like that. Even in text form, it's okay. Well, so now we'll if I'm just reading how to do it, Raven admin probably configure. So according to the not found. Oh, I have to remove the S. So it's in bin. So the first bit was in S bin, now it's in bin. It's not even local bin. Confusing. So I just need to press return or enter. So that's configured, possibly. And now I'm just going to get update port, so I grab the latest list. Oh, that was really fast. And what do I do now? Okay. Fetch pre-built packages, possibly, yes. Oh, look, TNF, true and false. Okay. So hopefully it's going to fetch pre-built packages, so I don't have to I don't know, to tell you the truth. Right. Well, let's have a look. Let's have some help. We need this build. We'll try build then, whatever. We're going to build Firefox. Try and grab the latest version. If we can. Well, it seems to be doing something, which is nice. I don't like the way everything is truncated and shortened. Don't like that. I'd rather read the full thing. And download failed. Okay, stopped at the prime ZSTD. Stop there. At least one package failed to fetch, abort in build. After inspection, it has been determined that there are no packages that require rebuilding. The task is therefore complete. So was it an error? Has it done it? Hasn't it done it? One package failed to fetch, abort in build, and then it also then tells you the task is therefore complete. There are no packages that require building. Confused. Okay. Let's have a look to see if it's installed it. I mean, it might have done. Okay, so I've got that. Oh, there's a Firefox there. Is it the new or the old one? Hard to say. I don't might as well set that. Ooh, it's very exciting. What if it is the new one? Whee! No, it's the old one. Fantastic. So it didn't do it then. Okay. Well. Yeah. What can we try now then? Well, I'm going to open this terminal rather than just coming out of X. Okay, we'll zoom in for a bit. We're going to do the same thing as we did before, but I'm just going to do it within the luxury and confines of the window manager. Okay, so build Firefox. Let's try mock music on console, and it hasn't got it. Okay. How about Sylpheed, which is the email client? Hasn't got that. Okay. And this is within Raven ports, that it doesn't have these. What about LibreOffice? Surely it's got LibreOffice. And it does. Okay. I'll fast forward this, it might take a little while. And download failed. Again, at least one package failed to fetch, abort in build. After inspection, it's been... I don't know why is it doing this? Okay, having tried to install LibreOffice and coming up with not found in the imports, we're going to try import Inkscape and it's not found. And we're going to try building Inkscape in Raven ports, which it's found it. And same error again. And that's that, isn't it? I mean, things are missing from imports, they failed to build or missing from Raven ports. It's crazy. Right, I'm going to give this 2 nuggies, or 2 robos. And I'm not going to win any friends with the MidnightBSD developers with this, so we'll get into reasons why. The good things are it's an independent and going its own way, so it's not tied in with any kind of like political or roadmap devised by anyone else. They're doing their own thing, which is a good thing. I like that. Someone's doing something independent and making it their own. First boot start script is a great idea. It is. I love that. I think having that set up and then it kind of automates a lot of the things that you put in, but it doesn't work in this. It's a great idea. It just doesn't work. I had it work once a good few years back in a review, but it's not worked since, and it seems to be the main thing that fails. Anyway, it feels fast and responsive, and I can't argue with that. I think it's everything does feel fast, even on once you get the desktop up and going, it feels quick, which is a good thing, which is what you want for a desktop. Now the negative things, the desktop install option doesn't work. You know, at the beginning when it says you want to install a GUI or a desktop, that doesn't work. It should work, but it just doesn't bring in the various bits it needs to install. So it leaves you having to do it manually, as you saw, installing Xorg and XFCE. It's a shame because XFCE is the default, as you saw in the X in the RC, and it's all ready to go. It just doesn't complete that first step. It's confusing software choice, imports or Raven ports. Which one? Which one to choose? Do you choose both? Because both don't seem to work. You should stick to one. Imports is a good idea. It's MidnightBSD's implementation of PKG or the ports in FreeBSD. I think it rolls into one. I think you can either, I'm not quite sure, but I think you can, with this one single import thing, you can either build, as in the ports in FreeBSD, or a pre-built package. I'm not quite sure, but I think they should stick to imports. Outdated or missing software. The software that you can install from imports is old. The Firefox was quite old, and XFCE was old. It doesn't really matter that much on XFCE, but Firefox version 1.1.1, oh, that's a good few releases down, and then all the kind of security and safety things that implies. Incomplete documentation. Well, there's not much available, and right from the start, when we saw there were no release notes for the point version, what got changed? I mean, if you can't make, and I'm going to be brutal here, if you can't make the effort to update on your website a little thing like what have you changed in 3.23, I think that just do you know what I mean? So like for the rest of things are going to get knocked on. It's like if you're not going to make the effort there, then there's chances are you won't make an effort elsewhere. And as we saw when we were installing, and it said imports, you know, things that you want to include in the install, there was no explanation what imports were. What if you're the first person? What if you've never used MidnightBSD before? You have no idea what that is. So it's little details missing, and I think the little details, it's key to the overall attention given. I don't know if anyone tests it, or if they only test it on one machine and it works 100% on that machine every time. I've tested this on real hardware. I've tested this on VirtualBox. It doesn't work. Other reviewers who are much larger than me and more experienced haven't had this working for them either. So I think they need either to broaden the range of devices that they're testing this on, or perhaps increase your number of testers. Oh well. Who am I to tell people how to do it? I mean, the guy who does this is a very clever chap. I'm going to say he used to be very amiable. He used to talk to me. I don't think he talks to me anymore because of the reviews I've done. But I think, yeah, I don't know if it's like a quality assurance and just general lack of resources, which I think is holding this back. And lastly, who is the target user? Is it a new user? Is it an existing user? Is it a high level or low level? Is it server? I don't know. GhostBSD found its niche by going after the desktop only. It's not really recommended to be used as a server, although you could if you wanted. FreeBSD itself can either be a server predominantly or a desktop after. NomadBSD is like a desktop for people on the go or for whatever you want to use it in that respect. MidnightBSD seems, it's like looking for one, and okay, it touts itself as being, so easy for everyone to use. But I can imagine if you're not really computer savvy and you want to try something BSD related, and this is your first experience, and you put it in and nothing works, you're going to give up, and it's going to reflect badly, I think, on the rest. It's really, as it is at the moment in time, it's really not for beginners. And while I've used FreeBSD for a good few years now, and I've installed quite a few variants, I've no idea about Raven ports. I mean, what is this? You shouldn't need it. Anyway, I'm not going to get ranting. It's not a ranting video. So I don't know who the target audience is, and until you know who you're catering for, I think you're going to be all over the place. Anyway, I don't like to rag on people's work. I know that you could criticize a lot about my videos, and God knows I've had criticisms, and that's fine. You do stuff like this, and you kind of invite comment. But if you're going to do something like a FreeBSD variant or an OS, I don't know. It needs to be working. I can know there are going to be little bugs, but the bugs in this are, in a way, unsurmountable. I think it needs to be more care and attention needs to be given to it. I want it to work, I really do. But anyway, so yeah, this is a review. I kind of went into it knowing what I'd expect, because the last few times I looked at MidnightBSD, it's not worked. Yeah. Anyway, if you found this video useful, which you probably you might have done for perhaps not the reason I intended, then please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you've given one or two of my videos a thumb up, then please consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, then please click on the notification bell, and then it lets you know when I release a new video, so I'm not just talking into the ether at nobody. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.